Welcome back to the course Setting Learning Objectives and Providing Feedback. Last time we looked at why it is important to set daily learning objectives and communicating those objectives to students. For part 2 of this workshop, we will look at the difference between a learning objective and a learning activity, and then have a look at some examples. So, what is the difference between a learning objective and a learning activity? Learning objectives are the goals or targets of a lesson. Objectives are what students should know, understand, or be able to do after completing a learning activity. The learning objective is the competency or skill we want students to possess. Learning activities, on the other hand, are the tasks, assignments, and resources that help the student to achieve the objective. This might include discussions, written work, a hands-on activity, or any other activity used to teach the students with the objective in mind. Learning activities are what students are doing to reach the competency. So let's have a look at an example of a learning objective. Below is a learning objective for a math class. This is the knowledge and abilities students should have at the end of a lesson or a series of lessons. This learning objective is, I can compare decimal numbers. Now let's have a look of some examples of learning activities. Below are some examples of these learning activities. This is how the students will accomplish the learning objective. Students may have to complete several learning activities before they are proficient with any one objective. Some activities might include comparing decimal numbers using a number line, playing a decimal card game, completing a decimal comparison worksheet, or discussing how to figure out which decimal number is larger with your elbow partner. Now let's test your knowledge about the difference between objectives and activities by completing this short sorting quiz. We have two categories here, learning objectives and learning activities. So you just need to sort the flashcards into the correct pile. The first one says, students will understand why clouds form rain. Is this a learning objective or a learning activity? This is a learning objective. The second one says, we are going to watch a video about types of clouds. Let's see what happens if we put this in the learning objective pile. You can see I got the incorrect answer. It just gave a little wiggle and then went back to the top of the pile, because this is in fact a learning activity. I am able to write a hook for a news article. This is a learning objective. Your task is to complete the symmetry worksheet. This is a learning activity. I can retell a story in my own words, summarizing. This is a learning objective. Today we will read examples of good and bad news articles. This is a learning activity. So you can see your results at the end of the quiz. I got 5 out of 6 cards correct, and you can always replay and do the quiz again if you would like. So remember, you can always come back to this course on your own time if you need a refresher, and you have the option of reviewing the video again or just working through the course materials on Rise without my commentary. Our next lesson will be on how to write learning objectives. Thanks for watching.